Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up for this Thursday, the 29th of April, 2021, and we're about 6:50 p.m. Daylight Savings Time. So the market's now had a digest, FOMC meeting, President's speech, come in today to GDP, came in today to housing numbers, pending home sales that were a miss by quite a bit, actually, in a percentage term. Jobless claims did not fall the way that the market wanted, and yet the stock market by the end of the day went up, but in between, it was rather wild. Now, you did set back a little in GameStop, Potex stock up. One of my favorites has been PAVE, only because I think the Biden administration is committed to getting infrastructure done. It won't be the plans that the president called for. He gave you his bucket list last night. Those are the things he wants. Man's entitled to want that. Getting it through Congress, that'll be a whole different thing. He'll get it possibly in the House. Good shot of it there. But trying to get this beyond in the Senate is going to be problematic if there's not compromise. So I think that's where we're at in looking at things. When I look at PAVE, this is a new high for the move, outside day to the upside. So now I don't want to see today's low taken out. If it is, well, what could that mean? Well, let me show you. The market, first off, isn't trending. It's going sideways here. That does not mean it's not going higher. I see that. But it stepped out of the pattern with today's break in the market of these higher lows, higher highs. You broke through. If you look at the break yesterday, that was 25.95. You went down today to 25.93 and then back up. So you broke the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. Okay. You're still over the 18-day average of closes, and the resistance is still the upper Bollinger Band, and you're stuck at it. You can't seem to pop through. If the market were to take out 25.94, today's low, I would think you're going back to the 18-day average to regroup. That's the point that I'm making. The market is fighting its battle against the upper Bollinger Band. The slow stochastics are embedded until the red line closes under 80. Even though you can break down in the market, that will determine if the trend's staying in place. So until that closes under 79, I remain committed to the bull side. And that's what I teach in that enhanced Bollinger Band course with slow stochastics. Take it. I think you're going to like what you see. I talk about it right at the end of this. GameStop, overbought now. So yes, it's coming up, but look at how narrow this whole band has gotten. First off, this is wonderful because it's proving that there's value in the market for this. What do I mean by that? This was a company that wasn't heard of. We had that massive short covering from Reddit, drove the stock up to crazy heights, came back, but it's found a value area over $100 a share. And there's been more stock offerings since then. This company raised another $500 million plus on that. So is this long-term going to be something? That's what the market's trying to figure out now. In the semiconductors, all we hear is the shortage. I mean, you saw Ford. They're already cutting their earnings dramatically. Other automakers have to do the same. Caterpillar has joined in this. And you can see, you try to say, oh, it's going to be bullish, and it fades right away on you. I don't see a chart trend on that. When I take a look at the other SMH, we have a pattern of a lower low and a higher high, and you're stuck at the 18-day average. Both are saying they're not yet with trends. Potex, getting high. It's up at the, what? The 100-day average. That's why I said getting high. It's fighting resistance. Been here, done that for a while, and it's overbought. It's used a lot of its strength to get up there. So between here and that upper Bollinger Band, I'll look for problems in the market on the upside. I think it's said that it's found the bottom, but I think it's also run into resistance in that statement. ESGU, and this is tracking the results of the MCI US and ESG Focus Index. Coming up, resistance pretty strong at 96.77, about 18 cents higher than where you're at, but Did you develop an embedded reading? Embedded means that you've converted the momentum index from being overbought to locked into a trend. And you have to have both numbers that make it up. They're called a K and a D line going sideways over 80 for several sessions. And you certainly have that. You can see it. So until the red line now closes back under 79, I think the pros will buy these breaks to get up to that Bollinger Band. There's not an awful lot of juice in that. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. The market seems to be stuck sideways. Energy sector, you know, the Saudis have done a wonderful thing with it, but this market's not about Saudi Arabia. You know what it's looking at? Europe's coming out of its malaise. Europe's getting more vaccines out there to the people. You're not hearing as many bad things. India is a disaster. U.S., I know in Chicago, we're the heart of United Airlines, and it's all over the news how they're sending over big cargo planes right now with all the supplies that they can put on them for the Indian people. You still have Brazil. It's not quite as bad as it was, I'm understanding, but still very serious in other countries. But the market is looking at the G7 countries coming out of these problems, and I think that's what it's been doing. Do I think it will stay over the upper Bollinger Band? No. Do I think the pros are coming out up here in an overbought market? Yes. That's simple. Am I bearish? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. SPY, coming up to the upper Bollinger Band. You are embedded. That's bullish. So you're also embedded in the future. So they're working together, but be careful. Your 421.50 is your first target in this market. That's where I think pros will take money off the table until the red line closes under 79. What did I say yesterday and the day before? This is the powerhouse one. This is the one you want to own, not the Dow, not the NASDAQ. Those charts are not pretty. When you come to the EFA, you're overbought. You're trying to get something going to the upside. You have a lower low, higher high scenario. I think I'm correct on this. 78.64 was the low back here. Then you went up yesterday. Today you broke to 78.61. So you made a lower low, higher high. This is sort of what I call that psychiatry trade. You're going sideways with tight Bollinger Bands in an overbought market. You're spinning your wheels trying to get something going that hasn't happened. And you get frustrated with it. GLD, I've been looking for more downside and I got it. So the market finally backed off to what I was looking for it to do, to the 18-day average. This was set up when you lost the embedded reading right back here. That set this whole move up there, and that's what it did. So I feel content about it. Now, what's the next big trade in gold? The market's not giving us an idea. The gold miners fell down to the 100-day average, so on rallies, the 18 should be the resistance. That's the zone there. Momentum down, not trending in this market. TLT, I want to go on record that I've joined the bear camp in these markets. So these I'm bearish. In other words, I think that we finished the rally that began just before, not this current FOMC meeting, but the last one, where we got a rally, and now the market's more comfortable with creeping on interest rates up again. So that declining pattern, I think, is over for the near term, and that's what that chart is saying. Support 136.72. I do think the pros will sell it at 138.78 with stops over the current high. In the euro, it's still bullish. You're still looking here. I still think a lot of money is going to deploy into the euro. See, their type of stocks, the staples they sell us and all, do much better as they come out of this pandemic than people understand. And they make big moves, and that's the nature of their stock market and other parts. But I think that'll affect their currency move. I'm playing off this, the embedded rating, still very friendly because of that. Now, as I said, if you don't understand Bollinger Bands to the next level, you know what they are, and you realize the market's going to trade within them 95%. That is this much. I'm going to offer you this much. What phenomenal opportunities I think they present when they set up a certain way. To find out more, take a look at this, and you might want to go to the website and read and take a look. I've got a short video there that explains what I'm saying. Have a great day. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein, on the road to your education.